So in college, I was an HR assistant, and that's actually how I ended up 20 years later still in this fucking
That was your
career.
college job?
Yes.
That's like fancy.
Well, it was for Sears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was working in their fine jewelry department, and they were
Fine.
like,
Very fine.
yeah, because let's be honest, they had stoves and refrigerators for sale upstairs. Like,
Oh, right.
but they were like, hey, I think you'd be great in the back of our office as a HR assistant. I was like, fuck yeah. And I hadn't declared my major yet. So I was like, great.
You were open.
Yeah. But the most crazy shit happens at department stores, and you would never even know it. Yeah.
Retail.
So one day we had an employee, and I guess they had an upset stomach. But on the way to the bathroom, while running, decided to pull down their pants and shit all the way. And they're not turds. It was liquid.
Oh, my God.
All the way
Like a
into the
trail of
bathroom.
tears.
Yeah. And guess who had to clean it? Because, there's not like just janitors on staff.
Not
like,
the HR assistant.
Oh, the HR assistant.
Shut your mouth.
So, and the wild part about the story is I am 20 years later.
That's what I was about to say. You're still in HR.
Like, that didn't scare
And
me.
you think one of your duties is literally sweeping up shit.
Literally. Like, and I was on my hands and
Sweeping.
knees.
Doesn't sound like a sweeping.
No,
That's not the
mopping.
That's not
Mopping.
the accoutrement.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't clean a lot.
No. There was a lot of paper towels, gloves. Also, I did find a mask, and this is pre-COVID. So, like, those weren't things that...
The painter's mask?
I had to clean it with Windex because that's, like, literally the only thing I could find.
Oh, no Fabuloso?
No.
Oh,
just
my
Windex.
God.
Magic stuff.
And so, now my boss did give me a gift card to Starbucks. So
Oh, I thought you were going to say to Sears.
How much?
The
How
Sears
much?
fine jewelry department.
$15.
Oh, my
But, hey,
God.
do
You know
it
where you
call
can
it
stick that
20,
$15 gift card up
I
that
would never be
employee's
able to eat
ass,
or
okay?
drink again. No,
Oh,
ma'am.
my God.
Honestly, it was like, I can't believe that I'm still doing this.
No,
20 years
how
later.
have you
Literally,
recovered?
finished that day.
I've-
People walk off their jobs when
I've
someone like rolls their
never-
eyes the wrong way, and you're like, yes, here I am.
Well, and I've never had
my
to pick up
God.
shit ever again. I mean, except my own
Well,
child's and dogs. But
Oh, my God.
it trained you well.
yeah,
HR, the shit picker-upper.
I was
Shit.
maybe I'm a little too fucking loyal.
No, you're masochistic. You're
are.
perfect
That's
for this
exactly
field.
right.
Now,
Exactly
you
right.
are
100%.
the HR. I see all these HR professionals, my mind shaking their heads. Yes,
Yep.
right now. Yes. Yeah.
Most
Oh, my
people, it's
God.
metaphorical, but for you, it was.
No,
it was
the worst part too is the crazy shit that people do in dressing rooms, and I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about
I know.
taking.
That's what you spell out.
I'm taking shits.
And wiping boogers.
And
Because I've seen lots of
hold
boogers in
on.
dressing rooms.
The women's were the worst. Tampons?
No,
No. I swear
no,
to God.
no.
I'm like peeing in dressing rooms. I'm like,
Oh
we
my
have a bathroom. But that was
God.
customers. That wasn't employees.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That you know, right?
Wild.
You have to clean that stuff up?
No.
Oh,
Luckily,
thank God.
I
I
did
thought
not.
you were gonna
We
tell
would just
me.
Me too.
close.
I was like, Jamie,
No.
they're like, she'll do
It's
it.
like, girl, you weren't an
Jamie,
HR
that's-
assistant. You were a janitor, girl. You were a janitor. They just didn't want to insult you. But oh, my God.
We pay you $7.25 to go clean up shit, girl. Go on.
No, that was $7.25.
Big
That was like
leagues.
that was the late 90s, right? That was,
No,
or
that
early
was
2000s.
2002 or 2003.
Yeah, that was, I started at the 425.
It wasn't
days.
enough, whatever it was, right?
No.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, since we have a hard stop, let's go ahead and deep dive into the agenda. Ashley, can you kick us off, please?
Sure. Why don't we get started this week with our cringy corporate speak? Jamie, if you want to tackle that for us.
Yes.
And then last meeting, we had a spillover. So I know we were starting with the guidance on good tips for hiring from famed HR guru Dave Ramsey. So we touched loosely. We touched on the first few of those, and I think he had some real genius tips coming for us that we'll tackle today. And then we'll always reserve some time at the end for some questions and comments. So Jamie, you have us a corporate speak for us today?
Yes. So my least favorite corporate word is boil the ocean.
God, those poor fish.
FYI, our oceans are already hot tubs. Hello, global
God,
warming.
I love a hot tub.
I do love a hot tub. Toes in the sand. All right. So remember,
But explain what that is supposed to mean.
What does that
supposed
mean?
to. What are you really saying?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
What do you mean?
You don't know what boil the ocean means?
No, I mean, it means like,
doing too much stuff
you're
at
doing
once.
Yeah,
too
like
much,
you're trying to,
you're
like,
getting
You're
ahead of
trying to
yourself.
accomplish it all. You're trying to
Yeah.
accomplish it all. Pick two priorities and run.
No, I know what it means, but I'm just like,
I was like, hold on
But
a
I loathe
second.
it.
It's, yeah.
no, I'm just like, it's stupid though. I just hate that saying.
Well,
And
if
it's
you
cruel.
can imagine sitting down for a meeting and someone's talking and they start
Like
saying boiled
boiled
ocean,
fish.
like shut down. But if you sit down and someone in leadership is like, all right, let's talk about how we're trying to do too much shit, I would perk up. Tell
I'd be
me
like,
more.
preach.
I will follow
Boil
you.
the ocean.
Follow
Preach,
you,
preach.
follow
Yeah.
you,
Mhm.
follow you anywhere. But I think
Absolutely.
Dave calls it, I think, parting the Red Sea. I think, right? But that's my guess. But
Yeah.
but you want to go ahead and Jamie,
Yeah,
you had
let's-
sent us this. Let's see what the
Hot
rest of these
topic.
dirty dozen of good, brilliant things we haven't heard before, tips and hiring.
Let's jump back in. So, are y'all ready to be kicked in the face by an ice skate?
I mean,
All right.
literally or
I feel like I'm
figuratively?
supposed to say yes.
Figuratively.
I saw the Tanya already.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Go on a spousal dinner.
No.
This may be the best advice on the list. Hardly, Dave. A spousal dinner is your chance to get to know the candidate and their spouse and share the company story in a casual restaurant setting. Like, so we go into Applebee's, we get the boneless
fascinating.
wings.
I bet
What?
Lee, where would you go? Where would you go for? I bet I would
wanna
do
know your-
Applebee's.
I
Lee,
want to
what
know
would you
your
be your
casual dining
What's your
restaurant.
casual dining? I
Oh
feel like
my
you're
gosh.
just a little higher.
I know. I feel like yours is higher end than mine.
Jamie and I are doing
Yeah.
the 2-for-1 before 5 o'clock. 50%.
Literally. I'm going to the Chili's.
Yeah, I like
I'm going to
Chili's.
the Southwestern egg
For
rolls.
sure.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to drop a brand or anything, but I am
Chili's
Texan.
sponsor me.
I am Texan, and so we do a lot of steak. You know what I mean? So I'm
Oh.
probably a steakhouse person. But I feel as though if they asked me to dinner as a candidate, I wonder if they had the candidate choose the place. Could you imagine being evaluated on?
God.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Can you
Could
imagine? We would be straight like,
Okay, and I'm over here at a $400 dollar
Yeah.
meal place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously I wouldn't do that in an interview,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you can read a lot by where people are eating.
Yeah.
And what if I'm anti where you like to eat?
Exactly.
Because I had a cockroach in my food the last
Yeah.
time. You know what I'm saying? I'm
I would be
ooh.
like, oh my god, let's go to Publix, have a coupon. I mean, I would be.
Ooh, a
In fact,
pub
Dave
sub.
would be like, that's your person.
Exactly.
Find the person that will sacrifice
She
everything.
does the envelopes. She does the
I
envelopes.
do love a pub sub. But yeah, I mean, this is wild to me.
Cringy.
It says as the spouse hears about the culture in the job, they're usually eager to share whether they think the position is a
They
fit.
are not.
No,
My
no,
husband
they are
would be
not.
like, "What? I don't do whatever the fuck you want." Like,
Read that last line, please.
Okay, I will drop this in.
yeah, do it.
Here, first of all, this is all assuming. There's no. This last line is not. Oh, just in case the person doesn't have a spouse. It is assumed that person
Yes,
is,
of course
is
they're
married, and
married.
is spouse, not
Yep.
partner.
So they're only
not-
hiring
they're
married
not-
people.
They're not widowed.
One-
They're not a
no.
single mother.
Of course not.
No, go on that spousal dinner.
That's against
And
a
here's
religion.
the bonus. One more bonus to this.
It's horrific. Brace yourself.
Terrible, yeah, terrible. Here's the ice skate.
You'll discover if your candidate is married to crazy. If they are, stay away.
Oh my God.
I mean, you're not wrong, Dave. That
You're
is
not
probably
wrong,
you're not wrong,
but you
that
ain't
is-
right.
that
You're not wrong, but you ain't
Yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying?
That is not your business. That is not your business.
I mean, how
No.
many hurdles do you have to jump through to
I
get
know,
a freaking
right?
job here?
I mean, this is
Damn.
again. You start
You
with this
can't even know
drive-by.
crazy people.
You start with this drive-by.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna have a quick 30-minute tight. We're good. We are so
Oh,
good.
my
here.
God.
Whining
Then
and
all of a
dining
sudden
their
they're
spouse.
staring into your soul, trying to figure out if they like you.
For
calling
Applebee's
all of
2-for-1.
calling all of your pre-designed references, doing your credit check, going into your bank account. Now you and your spouse. I mean, this is like
You
you.
should called this the 12 Commandments.
The 12, but I mean, I don't know what he is thinking us. As your spouse hears, oh, tell me about the culture and job role. They're eager to share if they think the position fits. What, at the table? If I am
That's
trying to
bizarre.
imagine, I'm out to dinner with my husband.
That's
He
not
has
a
some
thing.
interview and they're telling me about things. I'm going to pipe up and give my opinion real quick. I don't think Dave
Yeah.
Ramsey would want to hear his
No.
candidate's wife's
No, I don't even
opinion.
think my
That
husband
seems crazy.
would appreciate me sharing
No,
my
my
opinion.
husband.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you. What on earth? How has this played out in practice? We really,
I know. Can we have someone who has gone on a spousal dinner? Please write into
Oh
us.
God.
I'm like
I've
trying
never
to think,
heard of
like
it.
I'm trying to, like even in like law, like law firm recruiting tends to be pretty regimented. Like in law firm, a lot of times you interview on campus and then you go through and do the day of. I can't think of a situation when anyone has met. I mean, I don't even like as women frequently, like my finger's too fat, so I couldn't get my wedding ring off. But as women, frequently you're told to hide the fact that you're married. Dave, it seems to be flipping, but we really need to hear from people that have gone on the spousal dinner and what that experience was like.
Now we're coming up on time because if you recall, we have a hard stop. And so I think there's 2 left. Are we going to cover these or not? Do you want to mention them?
Yeah, we can
just for the sake of the
we'll
list,
mention
right?
Them really quick.
They're not as controversial.
They're definitely not. Number 10, create a key results area.
I don't even know what
That's a fill-in. That was a fill-in.
Yeah, that was a fill-in. And also, I feel like you can't really
No, I don't even know what that is.
KPRs, whatever.
KPIs.
Until you've been in the role and know what the fuck you're doing. And then number 12.
Wait. He says operating without a KRA. I've never heard of a KRA in my life. It is like going.
But can we be honest? They give goals.
But he says operating without a KRA, which I've been doing for my whole career.
Exactly.
It's like taking people bowling and turning out the lights.
Well, then that's what I've been doing.
But
my
also for the record,
career.
I actually love a good time when you go bowling and they turn out the lights.
I love that.
It's
cosmic bowling.
I've been cosmic.
And I still will hit a strike.
Bowling.
Okay.
Cosmic bowling's a lot more fun than when you go in the middle of the day and the lights are on and no one uses. I've never heard the term KRA.
Me neither. It's not a thing.
We're moving. That's not
okay. Then number 12, the final of the 12 commandments of a good hire, implement a 90-day probation. A lot of companies have this. I don't really feel any which way about it.
I'm not for it, but that's just me.
It doesn't matter. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. If you are in the rest of the world, I remember once I was working with a global organization and they said, can you make me a list of all the different employment laws around the world? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wizard, sure. Bibbidi bobbidi.
Harry Potter.
That's like a really easy list.
And I said, okay, I'll break it down. In the US, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah.
In the rest of the world, you cannot. But in the rest of the world, probation can actually mean something like there can be different severance because the rest of the world has a bit more balanced power dynamic and expectations. But in the US, unless you have a contract that gives you a term, which most people do not have, it is at-will employment. And in at-will employment, that again means either one can terminate employment at either time. You are the employer. And so when you have probation, that doesn't really add anything other than an expectation that after 90 days, you're going to have a performance conversation, which you rarely do because everyone forgets about it. And then after the fact, they're like, now I'm a permanent employee. And that's what people like, now they're a permanent employee. And I'm like,
and like, you can't get rid of them after that, which is completely not true.
No. And then I'm like, well, how are you going to tell someone you're a permanent employee? And then that person gets let go. And you've set these unrealistic expectations, a 90-day probation period. And people are like, you can't take time off. God forbid, don't get sick.
Don't get sick.
Kids, don't get kids. Get real mad at your kids. Don't get sick in 90 days.
Oh, well, thank you, Dave, for that illuminating list. I feel like we learned so much, and I'm so thankful to have HR mansplain to me and how to hire somebody. Awesome hot topic today.
He really boiled the ocean with that one.
Oh, he did. No, you actually used that like totally legit, right?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
Did. It was more lukewarm solutions to me, but
Jamie, I feel like you're a holidays person.
You know it.
Do you like to buy online or in stores?
I like to go in person, but then I hit my limit.
Same. And then I'm busy and I have zero energy to think about what to make for dinner.
Which is why we are so happy HelloFresh is sponsoring the HR Besties podcast.
You know, I had no idea that they have HelloFresh Market, which is something where you can get like ready to go charcuterie boards.
Could you spell charcuterie?
No. And that's why I'm a talker and not a writer. But I am going to write them and see what their top hits are with HelloFresh Market, like their ready-to-go breakfast items.
We need hacks for breakfast, which is why it's exciting that HelloFresh is providing breakfast for life for our HR Bestie listeners.
Go to HelloFresh.com/HRFree and use code HRFree for free breakfast for life. What that means is one breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. Free breakfast for life. Go to HelloFresh.com/HRFree and then use code HRFree.
I had no idea starting a podcast would make my mornings easier.
It is thanks to our sponsorship by America's #1 meal kit.
All right. So we're coming up on our hard stop here, but we want to make sure that we save time for any questions or comments. So a little Q&C. Does anyone have a question or a comment?
I do. So I have a comment. So I mentioned at will. And one of the things that people often get wrong is what at will means and what right to work means.
100%.
And people interchange the two. So at will employment in the US in particular means that either you or the employer or employee can terminate employment. No, my state, that's called right to work. That is not true. Right to work is the idea of a union and whether you have to join a union or not if you are in a union. And that is a state specific thing. So you can think right to work has to do with unions. At will has to do with whether you can be fired or not. And people say, I'm in an at will state. Well, 49 states, every single state in the US except for Montana is at will. And even Montana is at will-ish. There's some differences. But so when people say those things, I will save you that comment. That is your lesson for the day.
Oh, that's a good one. Jamie.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Which famous person, dead or alive, would be by your side during a zombie apocalypse?
Like, would I want to be by my side?
Tupac.
What?
Tupac.
Ooh. They just arrested his killer.
I saw that.
Oh, God, that's a
It's
deep question. It is deep. You know what I mean? Oh, gosh. Dave Ramsey, 100%. Love it. Absolutely, Dave Ramsey.
I mean, I don't know, probably John Krasinski, because he seems very unassuming. Then when push comes to shove, there he comes with his, jacking him around. So the unassuming hero.
We all picked men.
Plus, he's funny.
What's that about?
That makes me.
Well, because I was going to push Dave in front of the zombie.
Well, yeah.
So I was going to save
I
myself.
I meant Pam. I meant Pam from the office.
Oh,
All right, Lee, question or comment?
So not a question, but a comment. We talked about spousal dates as part of the interview. Would it be more useful, though, to take the whole family out and see if their kids are assholes?
My kids would be such assholes.
So I would never hire you, is what you're saying.
No, you wouldn't.
Unless my kids were also assholes. And then that's about
it would be
fit.
equal. Yeah.
Right.
And are they as passionate about this job as their
thoroughbreds run with thoroughbreds?
Exactly. Thoroughbreds run with thoroughbreds.
This is brilliant.
Gosh. All right. Well, I'm looking at the clock and I know we're right here up on lunchtime, right? So we appreciate you joining us for another staff meeting here in HR Besties where we talk business and BS.